welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I thought we'd sit down and do a little Q&A, but of like the juicy questions. So I asked on Instagram for some deep questions and you guys didn't hold back. It's a lot, I'm nervous. So I'm just gonna go through the questions, we're gonna chat about them, I'm gonna display more vulnerability than I ever have probably. Speaking of, first question, what's your biggest fear? We are starting strong, aren't we? I'm a scaredy cat. I'm scared of lots of stupid little things. Blood, hospitals, horror movies, riding a bike, you name it, probably scared of it. But in terms of like my biggest fear, I think I would probably say like peaking? Hang on, let me just search that word on Urban Dictionary just so I can just check, because it sounds like it could be something I don't want to be saying. Oh no, we're all good. To reach the highest point either of a specified value or at a specified time. Right, fine, that's fine. I've been so lucky because every year of my life so far has been more exciting than the last. And I know that at some point that has to stop. I don't mean in terms of career, I don't mean in terms of like YouTube or anything like that. I just mean like in terms of my own excitement for my own life. I will go to extreme lengths to try and make sure that every year is more exciting than last year. So I've got a huge plan for the middle of the year this year that means that it will in theory be more exciting than last year. I also get really sad once those exciting things are over because I like have a fear that I'm never gonna do anything that fun again. So like last year I went on this ridiculous trip with the US Embassy. If you haven't watched those vlogs, I'll put the link in the description. But they're all on my channel. We went to 4 different states. It was a 2-week trip with some complete strangers that was sponsored by the US government, and it was insane. It was so cool. It was my highlight of the year. It's one of the coolest things I've ever done. And when I got home, I was so sad because I genuinely thought that I was never going to do anything that fun again. And I haven't yet, but I will, and it'll be fine. But yes, anyway, back on track. My biggest fear is, yeah, probably feeling like I've peaked. The next question is, what is your biggest regret? And this is a bit of a funny one because there are definitely things that I get like embarrassed to have done, but I don't really have regrets. I'm very much a believer of that whole cliche thing of like you'll regret the things you didn't do more than the things that you did, and because of that I think I always try and facilitate doing whatever I want to do. If I want to quit a job, I find a way to quit the job and do something else. If I want to move to London, I find a way to move to London. And I think if you want, and that applies to little things too, if you want to tell somebody something, you tell them. If you want to go skydiving, go skydiving. I personally don't want to go skydiving, but like if you do, then go for it. But what I'm saying is I don't really have regrets because I know that at every stage, within reason, I've done whatever I wanted to do. So I won't regret it because that's what I wanted. Although, to be fair, there are some things that I'm embarrassed about, and I definitely do think about the way that I reacted to things in certain scenarios and think, I wish I hadn't reacted that way. But I don't regret it as such. It's more that I wish I could go to that person now and say, look, just so you know, I wouldn't react like that anymore. But no, other than that, I don't really regret anything. Hashtag no regrets. Next question. I got this question 3 times. Where did you see yourself in 5 years? How old will I even be in 5 years? Oh my god, I will be 28. That's horrid. In 5 years, I hope that I will have like 1 or 2 businesses that I really care about. Just like small businesses, they don't need to be like multinational conglomerates, you know? Just like a couple of things that I really care about that are very stable, which is what I'm working towards at the moment. So I hope that in 5 years time that work will have paid off. I think I'll probably still be based in London. I can't see myself moving anytime soon unless World War III happens, in which case I'm getting out of here. That's not funny, Amy. Stop. That's not funny. Next question is, what's something that you wish you could change about yourself? This one, I've already thought about my answer to this one and it's had my head spinning. I think if there was one thing, on a very serious note, if there's one thing that I could change about myself, I think it would be my attitude towards men and relationships. I think everybody knows somebody who has quite an unhealthy attitude towards relationships, and that they need it for validation. So they jump from relationship to relationship, or they let somebody that they're with treat them really badly, or they keep getting back together with the same person even though they treat them badly, just because they'd rather be in a relationship than in no relationship. And that's, in my opinion, not a good attitude to have, but I am the other end of that scale and I don't think that that's very good either. I'm very closed off. My subconscious brain sees people who are in relationships as having a weakness and a vulnerability to them, because that person could turn around and completely screw them over at any given time and it would knock their entire life. And I was actually talking about this with a couple of friends last night. I just don't find any validation in a man complimenting me in that way. I have a lot of male friends and obviously I really value those friendships, and it's not that I hate all men, it's just that this when men compliment me in a trying to be, romantic's the wrong word, but you know what I mean, in that way, I just go, oh, piss off. I don't care. And I really struggle to empathise when people get back into those bad relationships. I really struggle to sympathise with it, because I'm like, but you'd be so much better off on your own. And that is probably because of my own bad experiences. I have had relationships in the past and they've not been good. I have also witnessed some pretty poor relationships in my life, and very, very few good relationships, which I think is why I'm just so oh my god, why does anybody bother? I tend to fall very hard and very fast, so that screws me over. So instead I just go, no, that's not on the cards. And the thing is, I do wish that I could change that about myself, because I think a lot of people take a lot of joy from those relationships, and I know that they can be really fulfilling, but for me they are absolutely terrifying and just something that I don't want to get myself involved in. And that's not a aromantic thing, it's just fear. I can't believe I just said that. It'll be a miracle if that makes it to the internet. The last question that I'll answer today, because these answers have been quite long, is what motivates you? What motivates me is the people around me in a couple of ways. First of all, you've got the people who support you and that you want to do proud, and the people that inspire you and you want to have the same level of success as them, even if it's not in exactly the same thing. I think it's really important to surround yourself with people who are on the level that you want to be on, in terms of, I don't mean your specific path, but I mean they have that same mindset and they want the same things, because then you can push each other on. And I think that that's really important if you want to stay motivated, is to surround yourself with the right people. But also I can be a little bit vindictive, so the other part of me is just trying to prove people wrong all the time, and I love nothing more than when someone tells me I can't do something, because I'm like, oh, can't I? That's interesting, we'll see. And that drives me forward so much. And so yeah, it's definitely a combination of those two things. I think that's enough vulnerability for today. Please tell me if you relate to any of these things in the comments. Let's have a chat. I feel incredibly vulnerable, but it's okay, because I said I'd do it. If you have enjoyed this style of video, please do give it a thumbs up and also let me know. With that, I think that's everything from me. Thank you for watching. I will see you soon. Goodbye.